much to the readers who are only readers. There's very little research being done about that. What they would like to see is a level playing field for researchers worldwide, all the information needed for research online and freely available, a service that blends with their other workflows. No one wants to do this as something separate and, it has nothing to do with the rest of what we do. And we're looking for value-added services. If our repositories can't provide these, then they will think of them as coming from the previous century, which they probably are. Their concerns is, once again, a lack of awareness. There's limited content. They can't find everything on the repository. There's very limited functionality. And they're not sure whether they can actually trust this material. Now, I think it's important that we recognize them as important stakeholders and we get their views. And here I want to say something about the position of universities in the less affluent parts of the world, especially in Africa. It can really make a big difference. Our researchers can get to everything, that's being published. And it's not, of course what we can do is we can put out our research, and it helps us tremendously, because many of the journals that we publish in are not necessarily the big international journals. But unless those of you in the big universities of Europe and the US, unless you have everything there on repository, it will not really help us. So please think of us when next you talk about your repository. It's very important to engage students. They're the next generation of authors, and they should be comfortable with the idea of a repository of open access. And you can spread that entire gamut of things that the flyers, the posters, and so on. You can do that with them, and you can do all the fun things with them. They like the events and so on. We also spoke last night about the issue of engaging the general public. I don't think we often think about the fact that we should have small articles in the general newspaper saying the repository of University XYZ has this article on such and such an issue. The kind of things that people like to read about, and that will draw attention to them, and that will tell the general public that they can actually see what we're doing. Now, at times we ask ourselves, is there also a case of carrots and sticks? No. Generally, one can't force your researchers to do anything, but there are examples, and we've heard more of them yesterday, of things that we can do that will tell people that it is advisable to put your stuff in the repository. And I think one can also remind them that they didn't do this research in their backyard over the Christmas holiday. They used the university's resources, and they should give back to the university on account of this. And I do like Stephen Harnack's argumentation. He says, if you buy into the publish or perish for career advancement, remember nobody forces you to do that. You do that all by yourself because you're going to get the credit for it. Then you may just as well deposit to flourish. So just take it a little step forward. I just want to say something about the UP experience. I earlier mentioned that the university is a place of many agendas. If you can find something where these agendas intersect, that will help you a tremendous lot. In just about all our universities, the whole issue of research reporting to government is a huge crisis. And unless you already have a system that you can plug into. So what we did is, for management, it means prestige and it means money. In South Africa, we have to report these research outputs to government, and for every unit, the university gets a certain sum of money. And also, there's always this competition between the big research universities of who is having the biggest research output. For the researchers, that money goes directly to them, and they can use it to go on conferences and so on, and other useful things. So they care about that money. And for the research department, collaboration from the library helped them to ease this difficult task. What we did is we approached them at an early stage and we said to them, can we please share our information? Let's see what kind of articles do you have in your database, and we will tell you what we came across through our researchers and immediately we recognized that we could help each other and we could actually help them more than they could help us. And so over the past 4 years, we have actually discovered articles that were missed by researchers, mostly from people who left the university, to the amount of 20 million rand. Now, 20 million rand is not a huge sum of money for you, but for us it is, because it covers everything that we spent on this whole thing so far, and it just has so much meaning for everybody. The other thing is our mandate came at a very opportune time. The university was rewriting its strategic plan. We were on a very good position with regards to the university management. They really trust the library. So we managed to get this idea of open scholarship into the university's strategic plan. It says, you know, the university is going to go on an open scholarship drive and we will develop policy. So this whole idea of the policy was already there before we even did that. So I think timing is very important. Trust relationships are very important.